Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make Blossom, the Powerpuff girl, on a single loom. So we're going to be starting with our loom in a slightly odd configuration. Columns 1 and 2 are going to be the same height, but column 3 is going to be slightly taller. We're going to be using our Rainbow Loom hook because it has the base removal tool at the bottom of it, and we are going to be moving our bases forward so we can move our columns of pegs forward. With that being said, we're going to have our first base plate only holding columns 2 and 3, and the same for our bottom one, okay, and then the big one is going to hold all 3 to start with. Alright, let's get started. You're going to start by having 2 bands that you're going to place here, and they're going to be seemingly doing nothing for the time being, but they're actually going to stretch across to the next column when we get there. Double banding, so you're taking 2 bands and placing them over the pegs at the same time, and the pegs are facing you, so the arrow is facing you, or the open part of the peg is facing you. I'm using Caramel for her hair, and I'm using the Rainbow Loom Pink from the Skin Tone kit. I have to admit it's rather a foul colour. I have not found anything that I really want to use it for, but I figured a cartoon character, maybe that will do. We'll have to see. Hopefully it's not going to be too dreadful. So we started with her hairline. We're going to move to some Skin Tone or pastel pink. Moving down. And then we'll take 2 and go this side. And 2 here. So from here we're going to lay the bands for her little dress, which is 2 pink, 2 black, 2 pink, 2 white, and then the socks are going to be 2 black that you will put your hook through, wrap once and twice, and we slide on here like that. We're also going to use a band for arms. We're going to put some arms on, but we're going to use another band, pink, and it's the flesh tone I should say, loop it on itself like that, and it's going to go from here to here. We're going to actually use that to go across like this, but because there's no peg there yet, it has to sit here in a holding position. So again, using the pink, take a single band, wrap it once and twice, slide onto a pair of the flesh tone and one more pair of the flesh tone like that, and that's going to be the little arm. Okay, now the other thing that we need to do is crossover bands, and these are always tricky when you're doing an extended loom version on a single. Normally we would want to include these 2 and stretch across to the other side, but the other side's not there yet, so we have to do these 2 and let it rest on this one until we can move it further. The same for this one. It's got nowhere to go, so let it rest here and up here. We're going to put it here and let it rest. Now I'm not going to let it rest on this one because the eyes are going on this one. I'm going to instead let it rest on the one above. For the eyes, what I have here is a googly eye. It's not adhesive and it doesn't have the sew on part to it, but we make 2 little slits in it with a knife or a pair of sharp scissors, and we can then thread a band through it. Now this is thanks to my amazing friend Kay, who thought of this. If you're a child, if you're clumsy, if you are likely to chop your fingers off, please let an adult do this, or somebody that is a little bit more dexterous than yourself. Alright, let's cut a little line like that, and then one next to it as well. Whoa! I'm going to use a fine hook. I'm going to poke it inside here. Now, if you don't have a hook that's fine enough, try a toothpick. You want to poke it so it's like that. Now, I'm using a metal threader that I made from a twisty tie. There's a tutorial on my page, on my YouTube channel, on how to make one. It's very helpful. You're going to slide that through here. Take your hook out, pull your threader through, and look at that. You've got an eye on a googly, a band on a googly eye. You're going to do that to 2 of them, okay? So we'll add our googly eye here and here. And please pause the video. Let's go at your speed. Okay, there's no rush here. Alright, we are going to dig down past this arm, which is acting really as an end cap for us, and we're going to capture these 2 top pink bands. When I say pink, I'm talking about the skin tone colour that we're using. And then capture the next 2 top ones and move them across. Then we can loop these up and these up and these across. Okay, once those are across, this column is safe to take off the loom. Now you want to make sure that everything stays in the right spot. Okay, let's take this column off the loom and move it across. It's going to be the same height as the one before it. Push down. You're going to take 2 caramel bands and place them on this peg to do nothing for the minute. And the ones that have been doing nothing are now going to start to do something. So grab them and move them across to here. Okay, another 2 caramel bands and we'll pop them on there. We'll move to some skin tone. My little girl keeps saying to me, "Mummy, it's not caramel, it's caramel." Yeah, right. Okay, so we've got our skin tone bands here. We still can't pull these across. It doesn't live on there. It's supposed to live on the one over here, so they're just going to stay there for the minute. Okay. What we are going to do though is loop this column up. When we get to here, the top band is for the eye. Lift it up, splay it out and put it over that peg, making sure that the eye is on top. Then we can dig down, find those other 2 skin tone, and then the caramel, the caramel bands, and then we're going to link down here, dig down, grab those 2 and move them across. I was too busy being a comedian and still got my words muddled. Alright, we can now take this one off the loom. Do it carefully. You do not want the column in front to come off. Push it down between the 2 columns like that. Turn your loom upside down and we'll move the big base plate so that there's room here to add the next column. Take the next column off and it is going to go slightly lower than the one in front of it. Okay, get 2 caramel bands and put them here, and then take these 2 that were doing nothing and drag them across. Now let's lay our bands like this. Now before we move this one across over here, if you have a look here, you can see that we've got all the colours for her little dress. So let's do that. We've got the bright pink, the two black bands, the bright pink, the two white bands, and then two black bands that we're going to put our hook through, wrap once and twice, and slide onto the bottom here. Now we need to put crossover bands between here. If we don't, her legs are not going to be joined up. Okay, so taking the pink, you're going to take one band, loop it on itself with a figure 8 and place a cross like this. Okay, that's all you need to do. Now, oh, and you know what? Let's lift that up first. I'll tell you why. Take that one off. Lift this band here over and put it on here. Before we do that, you know what? We need to put one on here too. So, lift those off and put the pink here, because this has to drag across to here. So that goes to there, sorry. This goes to here. And this is our little crossover band that I just let go, which was rather silly, which goes over to here. And now we have our other crossover band, which goes here. Now we need arms on this one. So take a single band, thread it onto two, and onto another two. Hope I didn't mess you up too much. Slide this little arm on here. Oh, well, looky here. We've got the bands that we need to move these across to. Isn't that nice? So there's 3 of them. Okay, and that one's up here. So move those 3 across. Now there's these ones here. We're also going to put crossover bands on them. So take a single pink band, stretch it, figure 8, loop on itself, and they're going to go between these 2 pegs. So there's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And this one's tricky because you've got to move that eye out the way. The eye needs to be on top. There we go. Now this one I think I'm going to do a caramel band between. Okay, like that. Okay, so that's good. We've got crossover bands there. This is a good thing. Alright, we also need to put an eye here. We don't want to forget that. So there's one side and there's the other side. Push it down like so. Let's loop up here. Dig down past the black band and loop up. We can do both sides. Push the crossover bands back out of the way with the back of your hook. Up to the arms. Now dig down, find those 2 bands and loop up. When you dig down here, you're going to find the 2 bands that go to the side here. And they will loop up over there, but we're not ready for them just yet. Alright, so push those back. Link up here. Now you're going to move this eye out the way and over to here. Grab the 2 bottom pink bands and then the 2 bottom caramel. At this point we need to add some hair, and what you're going to need is a cat walking across your screen while you're recording. Thank you, darling. Let's get... Sorry about that. What you're going to need are 5 of these little chains, okay? And each chain is 15 links. So I'll show you how to do them. You're going to take a single band, wrap it once and twice, and then you're going to take a single band, put it on the end of your hook, and slide that on and reclaim the end of your band. You're going to do that again. That was number 1. We're now on number 2, and reclaim the end of your band. It's a simple chain that you're doing on your hook. On the end of your hook, slide them both on and reclaim. You're going to do 15 of these, okay, and you're going to do it 5 times. So I would recommend pausing your video, my video, and get back to me once you've actually done 15 of them. Once you have done 15, we're going to take 2 red bands, place them on the end of your hook, and it's a holding hook, and we'll slide these on. Okay, slide all of these on, reclaim the end of your band. Now I'm going to turn this over. I want these, I want one side to go here on the end of the hair, there, the other I want to go here. Now I've already just looped this up, so I'm going to take this off, okay, and using my holding hook I'm going to place that there, and then I'm going to replace this so that the brown band, or the caramel band, is the top one. Okay, hope you can see that. Now the other thing is, she needs a ribbon, and we're doing a very unadventurous ribbon. All we're doing is using 2 red bands, and we're going to go down here with 4 pair, and then a red end cap, single band, wrapped twice and popped on here. Loop this up, that is number 1. We're going to do another one. And an end cap, single band, wrap it around your hook twice and pop it on the end here. Dig down and up we go. And that's going to come off too. Okay, with these we're going to put them on top. So push everything down. We're going to put 1 here, and again it should probably be under that caramel one. Move the caramel one out the way, get this, pop it on, get your caramel one back and put it back on. I'm sorry. This one goes on here like that. Now dig down all the way to the bottom till you find those bottom 2 caramel bands and link, pull them up. I don't know why I keep saying link, and move it over here. Okay, this column has now been looped up. So what we can do is very gently take it off our loom. Please be careful, I don't want you to mess any of your bands up. Alright, push it down so that it's sort of under. Turn your loom over and move your base plates forward. and then we're going to move our last column. It's going to be at the same height as this one. Take your bands that have been sitting there doing nothing. We're going to make them do something finally. Drag them over here. Get some skin tone bands, and we'll place one pair and two pair, and this is twisted. There we go. Now I'm going to put a pair from here to here. Okay. Drag these across to incorporate both pegs. Okay, like that. Now we're effectively able to just loom up everything. So pushing down here, find the two top pink bands and loop them up, and then the next top two bands, oops, and loop up. These ones over here, and these ones to here. And there's a reason I'm doing these two before I do this one. Here is the eye. So you want to take this top band for the eye, stretch it out and place it over that peg, and make sure that the eye sits on top. Dig down and loop up. Okay, that's really important. Dig down here, find the two bottom skin tone bands, loop them up. That's only one, so there's another one here. There we go. Loop it up to here. Again, make sure that the eye sits on top. Dig down, find the bottom two skin tone. We're going to put that here. Dig down. We're going to dig down here, find the bottom two caramel, twirl your hook around to make sure that you loosen that up. Now this is going to be the band that we actually end up tying off at. Okay, so we go all the way to here. Then we're going to take two caramel bands, dig our hook down here, grab the caramel bands, and we're going to drag our hook back. Whoops, I lost a band. Let's try that again. Make sure you're actually under in the middle of that peg so that you've got all of those bands captured. Pull it up, out to the side, take this one up, over and off, and pull tight. We're ready to take her off the loom. Let's see what we have created, shall we? Okay, I'm moving my loom out the way. Stretch out her little shoes and her little socks, her little dress and her arms. Stretch her face out. She looks like she's got horns. What we're going to do, grab your hook, dig down through the middle here of one of these, like of your red bow. Grab the end cap of this one, and we're going to drag it through like that, the other end, and pull it tight. So it's like that, and that's how we're going to have tied the bow on her hair. Okay, this bit we're going to just hide behind some of the other bands at the back of her head. Like that. So to do her mouth, we're going to take 2 black bands and with your scissors just snip one side of them. Then grabbing a hook, oh, and you're probably going to need an S-clip. Oh, no you're not, no you're not, I'm telling you fibs. Stab her through the face with your hook. Make your band so that it's got a loop on it like that. Push your hook through the loop and pull one side, so you've got her suspended like this. Push your hook through near where her chin is and pull the other side through. So to do the other side, grab the other band, make a loop of it, stab her through the face in the same spot but on the other side. Grab that loop, pull one side through, so you grab the loop and then you let go of one side. Okay, your other side is going to go the same spot in the chin area that you were before. Okay, then you're going to turn her around and you're going to tie these 4 ends into a knot. So let's see if I can do this without too much trouble. One, and the other side. And if you're worried that you don't know which side belongs with which, tie them in a knot. Tie the first set in a knot when you do that, and then do the other end. You're going to trim this off. Trim those off so they don't encroach on the other side, and there we have Blossom. I hope you enjoy making her. Take care.